About 30 years ago, we weren't sure this was going to happen because John and I were almost fired together. I met John, I was on the faculty at the University of Miami. I met John and Nancy in August of 1977. My first teaching job, and John was hired, so we learned how to be college professors together. One afternoon, I'll never forget, I was teaching a class. In the middle of class, John came in and said, "Steve, the department chair wants to see you." I said, "Fine, thanks very much," and went on, and he said, "No, you don't understand. She wants to see you now." And so, a little flustered, I dismissed class, the middle class, and not only did she want to see us, but John and I shared an office together. It was a fairly large office, it was a classroom, but we shared this office, and the entire faculty was in our office, seated in a circle. And we came in, and the department chair invited us to sit down, and said, "We have a problem in our midst." And she went over, apparently what we did, we had sent some thank you letters for inviting a friend and colleague of ours who came to the university, but our department chair thought we were trying to depose her. We would never do that, would we, John? No. But we later learned that she was not very pleased about that and even voted for our dismissal. But we're still around, and we're still here. When I think of John, I think of three things: teacher, leader, and friend. When I think of teacher, that is perhaps best summarized by the opening sentence in a book John and I co-authored, chapter 1, in which he tells the reader, he says, "This is a book about you." To me, that summarizes John because it's not about him, it's about others. And when he's in the classroom, if you've been in John's class, it's about students. John is first and foremost student-centered educator. When I think of John as a leader, I think of the very last quotation in a textbook we've written together, one of the finest distillations. If you want to read a good chapter on leadership, read the chapter John wrote on leadership. He ends the chapter by quoting Lao Tzu. He says in this quote, "The wicked leader is the one the people despise. The good leader is the one the people revere. The great leader is the one the people say, we did it ourselves." That's John Masterson, as you, of course, know that. Finally, when I think of friend, I love John's stories, and if you've heard him in the classroom, he has wonderful stories. I heard that every story ever told can be boiled down to 7 basic plots: voyage and return, overcoming the monster, lightness into dark, rebirth. Comedies are about problems and solutions, tragedies are about solutions and problems. But I'm more, as a textbook author, I'm more reductionist than that. I think they all boil down to one plot. Every story ever told is about returning home. Voyage and return to what? Overcoming the monster, and then what happens? When I think of friend, I think of John and Nancy. Because as friends, they make us all feel so very much at home. And as I stopped to think about it, as I talked about John's roles as teacher, leader, and friend, they're really all the same. Thanks for being my best friend. Love you, John.